So when you begin to realize that you are not the thoughts that go around in your head, you're not the thoughts you have about yourself. They're just conditioned. They're something you learned. You're not the feelings you have or the emotions you have or the sensations you have. All of this is occurring within the spaciousness of what you are. Well, what are you then? And at that point, if you follow it, if you look into this investigation in a very sincere and meditative way, you come to a stillness, a silence, because there isn't a verbal answer to this question. Any verbal answer you would come up with is the wrong answer. The answer is something that can only happen in the dimension of consciousness. Because when you really look, you begin to realize that if you're not your thoughts about yourself and you're not what you feel, you begin to realize that you are the consciousness in which all those are occurring. And that's something that's extraordinarily powerful. And that consciousness, of course, is just a word too. If you were to get stuck with the word consciousness, then you would miss the whole point of this teaching. I can guarantee you that the direct knowing and experience of what you are is far beyond the word consciousness. But I have to use some words, so I use this word consciousness and I use the word spirit. Both of these are words that are used because what you and I are is not a thing. You can't reach out and grasp it. You can't measure it. You can't smell it. You can't touch it. It's ineffable. And yet, it's present. You can't deny that consciousness is present and functioning at this moment. Because even if you were to deny that it's present, your denial would be a proof that it's true. It would be a proof that you've heard my question. And that can only happen in consciousness and to consciousness. So this question, inquiry, is meant to take you beyond the mind, not into the mind. Very important. Very, very important. Who or what are you? And you can recognize that and realize that right now, because it's only in the now that this can be recognized. It doesn't require years of practice. It doesn't matter if you're brand new to spirituality or if you've been involved in spirituality for years and years or even decades. The availability of you awakening to your true nature as conscious spirit is always available now, in this moment, in any moment, but always and only in the now. It's not the result of long years of practice. It's the result of taking a good look right here and right now. Now, this inquiry can be taken in different ways. Another way that I suggest people use this inquiry is just the question, is it really true? Because your mind will come up with all sorts of things. The egoic consciousness is always imagining things and thinking things and acting upon ideas and beliefs and opinions that aren't really true. After all, a belief is just that. It's a belief. It's not a truth. It's just a belief. An opinion is just that. It's an opinion. Your mind has an opinion, but it's not really true. It's just an opinion. It's just a thought your mind has. A belief, it's just a thought your mind has. It's not really true. It's just a thought. And when we believe the thoughts in our heads, when we think that they have ultimate and true value, then we're in a state of delusion, because the thoughts in our head may have some practical usefulness in life, but they don't tell us what's ultimately real and what's ultimately true. So imagine this, that nothing that you imagine, none of your beliefs or opinions are ultimately real or true. It doesn't mean you shouldn't have a belief or you shouldn't have an opinion. Your mind will have them. But to see that they're not really true can be very, very liberating. The mind tends to want to grab onto thoughts and say, I must have thoughts, I must have beliefs, I must have opinions to be true. Why? Because the egoic state of consciousness, it lives in this world of beliefs and ideas and opinions. And ideas, beliefs, and opinions are what people the world of egoic consciousness. It's literally where you derive your worldview from. In other words, ideas, beliefs, and opinions about yourself or others or the world are literally the stuff, the substance of the dream state, of the egoic state of consciousness. And they cause you to be disconnected from the truth of your being, and the truth of every other being for that matter, and the truth of existence itself. So, inquiry can also be used at any moment. Is this really true? Is this belief I have really true? Do I really know that it's true, or is it a thought? Is this something I've assumed? Is it just a belief? And what if you saw through it? What if you saw through that thought and then didn't grab another one? Is it possible to see through a thought, to see through a belief, to see through a judgment or a complaint without grabbing onto a new one? I would suggest that to do so is vitally important for yourself and for all beings, for the alleviation from suffering and conflict, and to the discovery of a new and very profound state of love and compassion and gratitude. That there is a love and compassion and a gratitude, and there is a wisdom that far surpasses anything thought can come up with. And inquiry is a tool to access it. But again, it has to be applied in a very precise and simple way.